Let's keep that applause going for Zenshin Daiko. As many of you probably know, Zenshin is a nonprofit dedicated to teaching taiko to children and sharing it with the community. They graced us for our groundbreaking back in September, and we are so thrilled to have them with us for this blessing and grand opening today, especially with their very special guest all the way from Washington State, A.N. Hunter Ishikawa. So another round of applause. Okage-sama de. We all know what it means. Because of you, I am, and we are. It is such a profound statement, and one that is said when we speak of our veterans and everyone who has come before us. And today, as we stand in front of the completed Stanley Izumigawa Resource Center, it is something we say to all of you. Okage-sama de. Because of you and your unwavering support, you have allowed us to dream. We knew that because of you, we couldn't fail. You wouldn't let us. You would be right there with us the entire time. You provided financial and emotional support, not only to help us construct this center, but to allow us to continue sharing the legacy of these men and their families to whom we are dedicated to future generations. My name is Deidre Tegarden. I am honored to be the executive director of the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center. And on behalf of our board, our staff, and our campus partners, Maui Adult Daycare Center and Kansha Preschool, we say thank you so much. Kokoro kara kansha shite orimasu. Before I call upon our board president, I want to acknowledge our political VIPs who are here with us this morning, starting with Mayor Michael P. Victorino and his wonderful wife, Joycelyn Nakahashi Victorino. We have Senator Rosalind Baker, Senator Gail Keith Augeron, Representative Troy Hashimoto. We also have Representative Tina Wildberger right there in the back. And even though he is not a politician, I know that he would have all of our votes if he were to run for office. World War II veteran, Military Intelligence Service, Mr. Masao Motooka. And his wonderful daughter-in-law, Karen. I also want to acknowledge it's Tony Takatani, who is here on behalf of United States Senator Brian Schatz, and Ms. Seidine Ota here on behalf of United States Senator Mazie Hirono. We would also like to acknowledge the Stanley Izumigawa family. Here today we have his daughters, Joan Izumigawa, Jill Izumigawa Ross, and Jill's husband, Jonathan Ross. Thank you so much. At this time, I'd like to call upon our board chair, Ms. Kyoko Kimura, to say a few words.
Thank you, Deidre. I'm so overwhelmed. It is Okage-sama de, but it's especially Senator Baker, Senator Agran, Representative Hashimoto, Representative Wildberger. Is Representative Woodson here?
He's coming. He's on his way.
And all who supported the state funding we received. And of course, Mayor Victorino, Councilmember Sugimura, and everyone who supported the county funding and also giving the permit on time. Thank you. That's unheard of. Look at the next county. Nelson Okumura, a former board member, and Roy and Lorraine Okumura Foundation. The Freeman Foundation. Our board member, Kathy Shimizu, Brant Farias, Royce Fukuroku, Ayaka Fon from the Central Pacific Bank Foundation. Leonard Oka, and everyone at the Maui Sons and Daughters of the Nisei Veterans. Our board member, Dana Young, and House Smart Family Fund. Warren Orikasa, where's your wife, Helen? RB Carpet Maui. Colbert Matsumoto, his generous donation by himself, and also from the Island Insurance Foundation. ABC Stores, Atherton Family Foundation, and our board member Grant Nakama and Mahi Pono. Colbert's brother Kurt and Pulama Lanai, and so many more people from the community. I'm so sorry that I cannot name everybody here, but the $100 donation means a lot to us. You're buying the auction item means a lot to us. Now I can picture the people from all kinds of generations, from Mr. Motoka to the Rochelle to Kansha kids, and all kinds of people from different backgrounds, from all over the world gather here, and the legacy of the Nisei veterans and their story will inspire them to find the hero in themselves. So thank you so much, everybody. I'm so overwhelmed here to welcome you today.
Thank you so much, Kyoko. Thank you for being at the helm. We appreciate it. At this time, I would like to continue with our mayor, who has been a huge supporter of the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center before we were even the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center. You have been with us all the way, and so has your wife and your whole family. So please help me give a very warm welcome to a very dear friend of the center, Mayor Michael Victorino.
Thank you. Thank you, Deepa. Oh, wait, Deepa. No, I'll do Deepa.
Okay.
I got it. I got it. All right. You. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that you're awake. I know it's early. You know, 33,000 Japanese Americans left the United States to fight in the European theater, Pacific, and Asian theaters also. And of them, 101 of Maui's own never returned. This is a testament to their commitment to our nation. To these children and their families of those 101 and all of our Nisei veterans from all aspects, I want to say mahalo for everything you've done. Many of you have given up much, not only to make this come to fruition, but to destigmatize what has happened with incarceration and the internment camps. And I'm glad to see that that is now being brought forth in a memorial. Let it never be forgotten. Let this nation never repeat what happened in 1941 to 1944. Our Nisei veterans not only fought, but they fought with bravery, they fought with dedication, and the go for broke attitude continues to live today in many of you. Many of you that did return, many of them who did return, never forgot honor, responsibility, service, obligation, gratitude, loyalty, and most important, the duty to their country. 75 years has passed, but it only seems like yesterday for many of the families. This resource center that the Izumigawa family has put together, along with many of us, will be a testament to remember what has happened and the future of all of our children, grandchildren, and for some of us, even great-grandchildren. I stand today in front of this newly constructed building, not only in awe, but with pride to say the Izumigawa family and others have made this possible. It will be one used for exhibitions, workshops, lectures, educational program, community gatherings, and other uses that this community so longs to have. Our Japanese community has stood tall through the years in many respects, whether it was government, business, nonprofits, or in other areas, they have stood tall. And if you look in the world of athletics, some of our players from Maui have reached the pinnacle in baseball with World Series championships. But that's just a small piece of this puzzle. Look at Elezen Onizuka and the heights he reached before his tragic passing. I will say this, as your mayor, I've been proud to serve all of our ethnicities, but most importantly, you, the Japanese, because you have always stood tall and always been in the forefront, helping this community, working hard, building your families, and building the resources to keep them here in Maui and the state of Hawaii. I close with this. Today is a great day for the sometimes I get tongue twisted, I apologize. For the Stanley Izumigawa family. This resource center will be here for many, many centuries to come. And I hope all of those who follow, who utilize this facility, will never forget not only what he did, but all of the Nisei veterans. To all of you, I say a huge arigato, a huge mahalo. You deserve this day. And Stanley, we stand tall with you. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Our fundraising journey began with an ask to the state legislature, and our Maui delegation went to bat for us for a grant in aid in the amount of $300,000. At this time, I'd like to call upon Senator Rosalyn Baker to share a few words.
Aloha, everyone. You know, the nice thing about being part of the Maui delegation, with two of my colleagues that are here as well, is that we all work together to try to make sure that the needs of Maui are addressed. Whether it's in a grant and aid that's going to help build a beautiful space like this so that none of us ever forget our history, or whether it's working for the schools or our hospital, our roads, some of which I think could use a little bit more help today. But you know, it's a delight for me to be part of such a strong, compassionate, caring group of men and women who really take to heart the needs of our community. So I congratulate all of the folks that are associated with the Nisei Veteran Center and this beautiful building that we're dedicating today. I see a former colleague of mine over there, used to be Senator Jill Takuda. She headed up Ways and Means for a while and was always very helpful to us Maui asks when we would go in and say, you know, we really need this in the budget for our community. So congratulations, this is a wonderful day. How beautiful the sun is and the blue sky and even those nice white puffy clouds. It's a pleasure to be a part of this celebration. Mahalo nui loa.
Thank you, Senator. And at this time, I'd like to call upon also a longtime friend of the center. He used to do all of our videos and great things like that. Mr. Troy Hashimoto, Representative Troy Hashimoto.
Well, good morning, and on behalf of all of my House colleagues, who also, we all try and work together, we're very happy to see this center finally open. I think I was thinking back, and I just had a great conversation with Rochelle about the future of the Nisei Veterans Center, part of the strategic planning process. And I think this building is really a part about that next step for the Nisei Veterans Center and how we spread and how we remember all of the things that the Nisei veterans did for our community, and how do we spread that to the next generation. And I think that is critically important. So we have the education center, and now we have this resource center to allow more people to understand what that spirit means, to find that hero within us. And we're just so happy and proud to be a part of this celebration. I think it's great to see all these faces, because I think it's been a while since we had the who's of who of the Nisei Veterans Center come together. And I think, looking back, I finally remember, I think we used to, as Deidre said, we used to do videography for some of the dinners, and I think I had the pleasure of interviewing Mr. Izumigawa and his family, and I think it's a fitting tribute to what he has done for our community. So I'm looking forward to seeing the finished product, and looking forward to talking and seeing all of you as we move forward with the Nisei Veterans Center. But because it's such a momentous occasion, we wanted to do a certificate, so I'm going to ask my colleagues to come up, Senator Agaran, Senator Baker, to present to Kyoko and Deidre just a little certificate that we made to mark this huge step forward for the Nisei Veterans Center. So we wanted to present this on behalf of the Maui delegation to commemorate the opening of the Nisei Veterans Center Education Center and Stanley Izumigawa Center. So Deidre?
Very good, Tina, too.
Oh, and if Representative Wildberger is here?
She was.
Yep.
We'll all come over
So
here.
Deidre, this
All
is
right.
for you
Thank you.
on behalf of the entire center and the entire board.
Thank you. I'm going to come over there so we can all see it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We have a beautiful display case inside, and this is definitely going to go right in the center. So thank you very, very much. The Central Pacific Bank Foundation has been generous to the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center for years. In fact, if you look at that pillar right there by where Seidin is sitting, you can see that it says Central Pacific Bank Walkway, Concha Walkway on the other side. They have been with us this entire time. And whether it's for our exhibits or for capital campaigns or for Zoom webinars, they are always just the first to step up to the plate. And actually, it was a conversation I was having with Seidin. We were talking about the center, and I said, it would be great if we had another $75,000 just to, finish this off. And the next thing I know is we had $75,000 in our bank account from Central Pacific Bank Foundation. So I'd like to bring up to the podium the Vice President of Commercial Banking, the Assistant Manager, Mr. Royce Fukudoku, to share a few words. You can bring it down. You can bring it down because I stand the top.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm Royce Fukuroku with Central Pacific Bank. Our foundation is proud to support the Nisei Veteran Memorial Center and their work to memorialize the honorable deeds of our Nisei veterans and ensure that their legacy and values live on. Little tidbit, Central Pacific Bank would not be here had it not been for the dedication and resilience of a group of Nisei veterans who saw the discrimination that immigrants, who were primarily Japanese, faced to secure home mortgages, home loans, personal and business loans. These veterans met at Ala Moana Park with their 50-cent plate lunches just to discuss how they can help fellow Japanese. So with the support of Civil Defense Director John A. Burns and Congressman Daniel Inouye, in 1954, 15 Issei and Nisei immigrants formed the first board of directors at Central Pacific Bank. We will always be grateful to the Nisei veterans for their determination to better the lives of Japanese and all immigrants to live a better life. Our team on Maui is always looking for opportunity to give back to the community, such as the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center. So we are thankful to be a part of this historical day, the opening of the Stanley Izumigawa Resource Center, a local Maui boy who is a decorated member of the 100th Infantry Battalion and who continued to pass on his gifts and talents to our younger generation as a lifelong educator. So the Central Pacific Bank family would like to thank the Nisei veterans for their service to our country and setting a pathway for all generations to come. We hope that they can all be proud of the legacy each and every one of us continue to emulate. Thank you, guys.
So sometimes asking for money takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of paperwork, like writing grants. And other times, if you are lucky, you just make a phone call. And we are very lucky to have our fair share of those types of donors. One such one phone call donor is Colbert Matsumoto, the chairman of Island Holdings. And we would be honored if he would come forward and share a few remarks. Please help welcome Colbert Matsumoto. Getting you a fresh one there.
Deidre, thank you very much. And
it's that Kahului wind.
yeah, but it's my honor and pleasure to be able to represent the Island Insurance Foundation today, and to congratulate Deidre as well as all of the supporters of the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center on the completion of this building. And actually, I'm really pleased to be able to be here to see just this whole campus that you've been able to develop, because I think that this is a wonderful facility that's going to be, very welcome to the Maui community and an important resource for your community. I think that it's a fitting tribute for the Nisei veterans, because it's not just a static monument to their valor and the bravery that they demonstrated during the war, but it's actually a vibrant resource that will serve the community just like how they served our country when they went to the war. But their valor and their contribution and their sacrifice didn't just end when they came back from the battlefields of Europe, but they continued to fight for their community when they returned to Maui and to Hawaii. Because when they grew up, before they went to war, Hawaii was a very different place. They suffered discrimination, they suffered prejudice, and they knew that when they came back, they needed to continue the battle to fight for their right to social justice and to economic equality. And so they did that, and they continued to serve their community through the struggles that they endured during the 40s, the 50s, and the 60s. And they changed Hawaii, and they changed it into modern Hawaii that we're all able to enjoy today. And that's why for the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center to be this kind of a resource that is not just a testament to their contributions and sacrifices during the war, but to be a living memorial to the kind of sacrifice and contribution that they wanted to make to the community is so appropriate. Last night I looked at your website, and I was really pleased to see your vision statement that says that you envision a community where all people act selflessly for the greater good. There could be no better vision or motto for this center and the people that it intends to honor than a statement like that. So I congratulate you on this accomplishment and wish you well on behalf of the Island Insurance Foundation, and me and my family, because my own father was a Nisei veteran, and my wife's father was also a Nisei veteran. So it's especially personal for me to be able to see you accomplish this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So anybody who's done a construction project in the state of Hawaii knows that sometimes it's a little bit, rough going and things don't always come in on time. But continuing the legacy of her Arizumi family is Brittany Arizumi Rodriguez, who oversaw this project with grace, hard work, and dedication, delivering an exactly to the date on time project and product. I know she had a lot of help, but we couldn't have done it without Brittany and her team. Please help me welcome Brittany Arizumi Rodriguez.
Thank you, Deidre. Hi, my name is Brittany Arizumi Rodriguez, and on behalf of Arizumi Brothers and myself, we would like to thank the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center and its supporters for allowing us to be part of this very special project. The Nisei Veterans Memorial Center had always been an aspiration for my uncle Hiroshi Arizumi, Mr. Izumigawa, and their fellow veterans along with their families and supporters. With the renovation of the Stanley Izumigawa Pavilion, it will allow more space for their stories to be shared with others. With the architectural vision of architectural design and construction, to all of our consultants, our fellow subcontractors, and to the wonderful staff of the Nisei Center, Deidre, Melanie, and Leonard, we were all able to work seamlessly and effortlessly together. To give you a background of this construction project, Arizumi Brothers started this project on July 30th, 2021. The construction process included the enclosure of the existing covered pavilion and the leveling out of the existing concrete slab, followed by new vinyl plank flooring throughout. The interior work consisted of adding 2 new office rooms with interior doors. Each office includes individual AC units, and the main area has a central air conditioning system. The exterior work consisted of plastering and painting to match the existing exterior building, also with exterior lighting. We also added new fascia and overhang at the new roof extension, as well as a new sidewalk to both entrances. With this completion of the construction, we were able to bring this building up to the latest safety regulations. This new space not only saves energy, but provides a safe space not only for staff members, but for members of the community as well. With barely any obstacles, I could not have asked for a more perfect team to get this project accomplished. We look forward to seeing great things happen with this new space. It has been a pleasure to work with you all. And on behalf of Arizumi Brothers, we are grateful to have been allowed to bring your generous mission to your community. Thank you.
Thank you, Brittany. I just want to acknowledge that there are other funders here today to whom we are very grateful. We thank each and every one of them for your unwavering support and your above and beyond generosity. You know who you are, and I know you are remaining silent, but thank you, Michael, Nelson, so many of you out there. We definitely could not have done this without you, so thank you very, very much. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce an individual who championed this project from the get-go. She spearheaded our capital campaign and got the beautiful new resource center built during the COVID pandemic. Please help me welcome our external director, Ms. Jill Tokuda.
Thank you so much, Deidre. And you know, she gives me way too much credit because, as many of my former colleagues here know, timing is everything, especially when you're trying to apparently raise money and build during a pandemic. But it really was thanks to our lawmakers at the state, the city as well. You know, when we put that GIA in, we threw it in literally, I think, Deidre, right at the last minute. And we went over to the Maui delegation and said, hey, could you really help us out? This 300,000 would make a huge difference in opening so many doors. And they could have easily looked at me and said, you know, didn't you just leave? Can't you go away? But I will tell you this from personal experience, your Maui delegation is so committed to this community. And it wasn't a question of really that much, it was how can we help? And we're here because they opened that door in the very beginning. And now we're gonna open the literal door of this center very soon. But I ask you to pause really fast and take a look at this center. This literally embodies the vision of Nisei Veterans Memorial Center and all of our Nisei veterans. The past, the roof, the original roof to the pavilion, the present in the building. And if you look right here on our feet, the writings and the hand drawings of Kansha preschoolers, the future. This center embodies all of those things and those values that we hold dear. You know, today's a very auspicious and intentional date with which we decided to do the grand opening. 80 years ago, Executive Order 9066 forever changed the lives of over 1,300 Hawaii Japanese nationals and Japanese Americans, many Maui residents right here. President Roosevelt authorized the evacuations of all persons deemed a threat to national security. We're talking over 100,000 men, women, and children of Japanese ancestry, and forced them into fenced, guarded, and isolated detention and internment camps throughout the United States and locally right here in Hawaii. It was estimated that 17 camps were located right here in the territory of Hawaii, 4 in Maui County, as I think many of you are familiar. Haiku Camp, the Maui Jail, Kaunakakai Jail, and Lanai Jail. And my great-grandfather, Seiki Takasato, was actually one of those men that was interned, first in Honouliuli. You know, he lived here in Pu'unene, worked here on the plantations. My grandfather was raised here, learned to swim in the ditches, as many of you know. But he was one of those Japanese nationals that found himself taken away from his home. First to Honouliuli, as I mentioned, then Sharp Park in California, and then finally in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And by the time I was born, my great-grandfather couldn't speak, unfortunately. And I wish I could have asked him so many questions. What was it like to live in the internment camps? How did he feel that as he lay there, viewed an enemy of the state, his own son, was away with the military intelligence service, fighting for a country that didn't believe in his own father? I wish I could have asked him and my grandfather so many questions when I had the chance, but sadly, I couldn't. But I'll tell you this, from the very first time I came to the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center, I always found, and I don't know if Deidre and Mel noticed this, I'd always make my way to the MIS corner and kind of linger there and piece through the books and the yearbooks and the memorabilia. And I'd always look extra carefully at the displays, every scrap of clothing, every picture, every postcard. And I'll tell you one, I think many of you probably felt this way. It almost felt like the answers that I'd been looking for, the answers and questions I never got to ask and answers I never got to get, was right here at the center. And that's what makes this place, to me, so very special, so worth fighting for and building on. Because it holds all of our stories. It's a glimpse into all of our shared past that we have together. And more importantly, it's the hope and embodies the hope of the shared future, the better future that we have for our island community here on Maui. So thanks to all of you, we now have an even bigger home to house all of these memories and a very special place to create and share new ones together. And you know, if you have some time after this, or you can come back later, Mel has done an amazing job of putting together internment stories of Maui downstairs. I think all of us can see ourselves, our families, in the display, and I just want to give so much credit to Mel and Deidre for making this. As Colbert said, it's not a static place, it really is a living memorial, a testament to our Nisei veterans and our greater Maui community. So now, at this time, I have the distinct pleasure of welcoming back our future, right here, Zenshin Daiko, to perform their final number for us today.
Zenshin Daiko. The future is definitely in good hands. At this time, please help me welcome the president of Maui Sons and Daughters of the Nisei Veterans and co-founder of the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center, Mr. Leonard Oka.
Yeah, first of all, I wanted to say, you can tell, if you know me, you know this is a very special day because I dressed up, I wore shoes. Usually we rubber slippers every day, but this was special, okay? Plus two, my granddaughter's over there. I didn't want to embarrass her. Oh, Grandpa, rubber slippers, you know, so it is a special day. And I wanted to just take a side note, and Tony's not here, but I wanted to thank Tony from Zenshin Daiko for having my granddaughter, the Orikasas, Kurokawas, because they all have ties to the Nisei veterans, and Tony understands that, so he allows them to perform with the older group. So thank you, Tony. When Deidre asked if I would say a few words, I told her that I would be just repeating what I said at the kickoff program back in early September. Some of you might be in your early stages of dementia, or you just didn't listen to me. So maybe I could have repeated myself. But I decided not to give a speech. Instead, I asked Deidre if I could lead a salute. So this is my contribution to the program today. I would like to call on Nisei Veterans board members, Bo Mahoy and Lyndon Jolston. Please come forward. Both veterans are of past conflicts, and they will help me with the salute today. Made it more official to have a veteran be up here and do the salute. So, can everyone please rise and face the flag? But as you gaze up at the flag, look further into the heavens to also salute our Nisei veterans who are proudly looking down at this dedication ceremony today.
I ask any veteran to join us in rendering a hand salute. I will give the command to salute. We will hold the salute through and including the song, the 442nd Infantry song, Go for Broke. And if you know the words, let it roll off your tongue. Veterans, and up, freeze and arms.
Oh, sorry, I got carried away with the salute. Please hold your salute, as I would like to also call on Floyd Nagoshi from the Sons and Daughters to play the 442nd Regimental Combat Battle Song. It may be the 442nd song, but I hope that all of our veterans, Nisei veterans, understand it is played as a tribute to all of them. Floyd. Sorry, I forgot to plug it in. Sorry, Floyd.
That wouldn't have happened in the Army. veterans. Order, arms. Everyone, please be seated.
Thank you to Bo, Lyndon, and Floyd, and to all of you for participating in this salute and special tribute to our Nisei veterans. After all, we always say, Okage Samade, because of you I am, as we dedicate this research center in memory of their accomplishments in World War II. I just wanted to throw in one thing because it's such a beautiful day and I had you guys look up at the sky. I wanted to thank Kahu Wong. He always takes care of us, always takes care of the weather for us. So thank you very much for talking to the man upstairs.
Okay. And with that wonderful segue, I would like to call upon Kahu Wong to lead us in the blessing today. Kahu?
Thanks, Leonard, for that vote of confidence. This is actually the third blessing that we are having for this particular facility. The first time was Ho'ola, Ho'ola, which is to give life. And that's what we did as we broke the ground. Well, the ground is already broken, but we had time to release the past and move forward to the new. And that's where we gathered with the board of directors, with the construction crew, and with the center staff. And we just committed this effort to Keakua and the work that was going to proceed for it. The next step was, when was that one?
That was like
September,
August.
August?
Yeah.
And then the next one was
September.
We did a whole law, which was sanctify. That was the naming of the building for Stanley Izumigawa. But it's also to recognize the purpose of the building. This third one is Ho'omaikai, or Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving that the work has been completed, that we have an opportunity to gather here as a group and celebrate that, but also Thanksgiving of those whose values have been embedded into this place. For Stanley, for what he has done to serve our country and all those who serve with him. For their efforts prove the truth to Proverbs 17:17, which says, a friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. I like the way the New Living Translation says it. A friend is always loyal, and a brother is there at any time of need. And that truly defines who the 442, the 100th Battalion were. Those who committed themselves to the task of lifting up the Japanese, their families, and being able to represent them in very real ways, in commitment of their heart, their soul, and their lives. And so for all of you who are ohana to them, mahalo nui loa for your efforts and for contributions made to us. As I do the blessing this day, I'll be using water and a salt. Water is that which gives life. And yes, it does rain at times, and we do want to thank God for that which gives life to the land. But we want to see this water as the light that God can give us to enable this place and for us to enjoy the relationship that we have with one another. Salt is that which gives flavor. Without it, food would have different taste to it, right? But we added the salt and it kicks it up a notch. So we want the salt to represent the lives that will be changed by the flavor that's added by the activities that takes place here, by the connections that are made with one another, and that we can flavor each other's lives. So we use the salt to represent that which will give flavor to all of our lives. And as I mix the two together, we come up with that healing agent. We all know that growing up in Hawaii, if we have a sore throat, we gargle with Hawaiian salted water. It helps in the healing. And we know that there are still some aches and pains that have been suffered in the past that have yet to be reconciled, that need to be healed. And unfortunately, in many ways, we have not learned from our past, and we still continue some of the challenges of life and some of the hatred that exists between cultures and races and individuals. So I pray that there might be a healing of all of us, that as Keakua came upon this land and healed it, that we might find a way to heal our relationships with each other. And we thank God that this particular center has the ability to draw all of us to be one and bring about healing of lives here. So I ask that God might be a source of healing for all now and into the future. E pulikako. Mahalo ke okua for the way that you have gathered us this day to be able to celebrate the work of Stanley Izumigawa, what he did to defend our nation, defend our country, to lift up our people, and all those who serve with him, O God. We thank you, Lord, for the completion of this facility, that as we bless it in Stanley's name, we also ask for it to be blessed in your name, that as you come upon this site, you may cleanse it from any impurities, whether physical or spiritual, enable all that goes on to bring life to those who come here. We ask, O Lord, that your life might also have flavor to those who are nurtured here within this place and who go out to serve. So mahalo ke okua for the opportunity to call your presence upon this site, by presence upon our lives, and to presence upon our future. Makino kamakua, me ke keiki, me ka uhane hemalele, me o koa pau. Amen.
Izumigawa family. You go on that side and this side. You know what? It's a lift off.
Oh, okay.
It's a lift off. Yeah. It's a fake untying.
Make sure the camera gets.
Either side. Forward.
Yes. Somebody will do it. There you go. Where's teacher?
It's a community effort. We welcome all of you to your new home. It is your collective new home. You can come visit us anytime. We want you to be here. We also want to let you know that all of the suru, the peace cranes that you signed last time, are now hanging in infinity over in here. So please take a moment to check those out. Thank you to Melanie for putting together a beautiful display. But let's come in and enjoy. It's nice and air conditioned. Thank you. Joan, Jonathan,
Joan.
you're first.
Come on, Joan. There you go. There we go. Honor our veteran. You go ahead. Please. Ross, come on.